Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is another big bag. It's all about the big bags and boxes at the moment, isn't it? But this is a bag it uses a piece of paper that's 12 by 12, which is 30.5 by 30.5, and I'm going to show you how to make it. But it's a lovely bag. It's kind of like a handbag maybe. But I'm going to show you how to do the framelit work and the stamping on this first. Now, my original one, I used the Labels Collections framelits, and then I used one from the Thin Look card dies to get this very narrow border. But I'm going to show you how to do it with two of the Labels Collection framelits, and you actually need to cut those out first before you stamp on them. So I've got my big shot here, and I'm so sorry about this dreadful cold. I came away from Telford, our regional training, on Saturday, and I felt the cold coming as I was talking on the way home. So, magnetic platform and a cutting mat, and then I've got my Labels Collection framelits, and I want I don't want the smallest and the next one up, I want the second smallest and the next one up after that, that's the second smallest, and then that's the next one up. And I do like the little dinky one, it is very cute. But not for today's job. Let's move those out of the way. So I'm going to take the smallest one, and I want that to go over the white, or I want to cut white with that. And then, you know what, if I feed that all the way through, that will go on there. And then Coastal Cabana for the larger one. And then a cutting plate on the top, and I can put all of those through. There we go. So I've heard one, or felt one as well. That's the second one. Move that out of the way, and then these should have perfectly cut out. There we go. They're all done. So I don't need any of this. I'm going to move it and sort out my grid paper before that makes my brain ache. So to get these perfectly lined up, so if you see this one, it's two separate stamps from the Happy Day set. That one is this one here, and it is separate from Hello There. So I couldn't risk stamping and hoping I could fit a framelit round it. So you need your Stamp-a-majig, which I love anyway. Really do love this thing. And what you do is you take your imaging sheet, which is this bit here, and it's got stamped on, but that's okay, they're meant to be a bit grubby. And you have your T-bar, which is this bit. Put your T-bar down and slide your Stamp-a-majig imaging sheet, so this top left-hand corner tucks tightly in there. You probably can't see it hugely well on this white paper. If I put my shadow, you might be able to. So you can see it's tightly up into the corner. Take your rubber stamp and ink it up. So I've got my Coastal Cabana ink. Doesn't matter what colour. Obviously it would, you might as well just use the colour that you've already got. And then this top left-hand corner, that's also going to go in there. And you sort of hover it above and then slide it down. So if I bring it up for you, I'll have to go left-handed for you for a second. You're positioning it here and then slide it down so it hits the imaging sheet. So you start with it sort of nestled up there and slide down. And that's how you know you're going to get it in the perfect position. So there's my image. And I want this to tuck up into the top corner here. So you position it where you want it, over your paper or your framelit cutout shape. Put the T-bar back in so you know you're in the right place. Lift it away. Ink up your stamp. And that has stamped it exactly where I wanted it. So that's at the top. So we then do the same with the wording. And I've got Sweet Sweet Moments. Is that actually going to fit? I don't think that might fit. Should do. Should fit. I don't think it will though. I think it's slightly wider than Hello There. So we'll go with Hello There. Look at this. Change my mind mid-video. So my Hello There. So I've got that on my block. I've rotated this so I've got a different side. Slide it in. Ink up the stamp and then hover in the air and push down so I know that that's positioned, and I can bring that in and put it where I want it. See, like I'm sliding off the paper. Let me just move this a bit more. So I've got that exactly where I want it to be. T-bar back in again. Remove the imaging sheet, ink up the stamp again. Straight down and up, and perfectly positioned. So that's why you cut your framelets first, so that you know what you're doing. You know where you're putting things. So I don't need that anymore. And while I've got this out, I might as well mount these. So a couple of dimensionals. Oh, maybe 3 on here, I think. And onto the Coastal Cabana one. So this is a slightly bigger frame around it than my original one. That's okay, I quite like that actually. And then now we can do the folding and the scoring of the paper. So, sheet of paper that is 12 by 12 inches, which is 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres. And obviously it's the full sheet, you can't see it at the bottom because you'd just be way up in the air and you wouldn't see anything. But the scoring on one side, because it's a square, it doesn't matter which, comes at 3 inches and 9 inches, which is 7.5 and 23 centimetres. And sorry, I forgot to say this is the Eastern Elegance paper. It's lovely. So 3 and 9, 7.5 or 23 centimetres. Turn it round and then score it at 4.5 and 7.5 inches, which is 11.5 and 19 centimetres. And you perhaps can't see that, or you can maybe see it a little bit better there. So I've got a score line, basically there's 2 score lines on each side. That's it. We like a simple scored bag, don't we? Okay, fold the score lines. Fold those, there's one. I can't get my hands in today. There's another, and then I think I just bashed the tripod. Sorry if I wibbled you. And there's another. And so this part, you need the thin section to go left to right rather than the fat one. It's the thin one that you want to go left to right, because you need to know that this is going to fold up and close like that, because that is the shape of the box. Let me pull that out. Okay, so you can't cut this way because it won't fold correctly. So you need to come round, because obviously that doesn't make sense, that won't work, and cut these ones so it's either side of a square. There's a square here, rectangle there, it's left and right of the square is where you need to cut. So let's just go straight down. I do like these craft scissors. I had a conversation with my mum recently after the whole glue gate incident where my children had decided to cut gluey things with my good scissors, and she gave me another pair. She said, "Oh, you can have some of mine." They were nothing on these. It wasn't to say mums weren't good, but these are, it's like, you know, that classic phrase of cutting, you know, a hot knife through butter. They really are that good. Okay, I shall stop talking. So these bits are going to fold up and round. These ones are going to fold up and round, and it is all going to pinch together. So you need to put adhesive in certain places. You can get away with paper on paper by using sticky snail. I would say probably use something like sticky strip to get a better longevity, but it does work. And I made this prototype here, I don't know, maybe about a month ago. That's how long stuff sits on my desk before I actually get around to filming it. Probably because I'm always making bags and boxes. And yeah, and I did that with snail, and it hasn't popped open. Okay, granted I haven't got anything in it, but it hasn't popped open is what I'm trying to say. So sticky strip on there, this bit folds up, and I find it easier if I have this flat on the floor. I'm sorry, Fennel's come out to say hello. That I can, if I have it flat on the floor, I can make sure that this edge will also sit flat on the floor. So I will show you in the air where you're sticking. So that's how it's going to go. So obviously this time round, you can make sure that's perfectly lined up and push it up. And it's all stuck. And then these bits, sticky strip or snail or anything of your choice on here. And I would say make sure your bottom corners have got adhesive right to the edge. You can see I've pinged a tiny bit there. It's never attractive. So make sure that you've got your sticky strip or your glue or whatever all going right down to the corners. So again, I'll hold it in the air for you, fold it up and bring it round. So you can see what you're doing, which means that this time it's easier just to fold around there. And then after that, because that's the that is the back, can't speak, that's the back. So you pinch in at the sides, much like a milk carton style box. And that is your beautiful shape. Yes, look, see it's gaping there. Operator error here. So that's your beautiful bag with lovely sort of smooth domed finish. So grab crop dar, pair of scissors, a hole puncher of some sort. Punch holes in the top and both sides. And my computer is buzzing at me and binging and bonging because there's messages coming through. And then, which ribbon did I choose? I thought I'd got some out. Apparently I didn't. Oh, that wasn't very good, so excuse me. Apologies for the arm straight in camera. Whisper white organza. So make sure you've got the back there. And feed that through. And then round the back and back through the front. We just know there's no point fighting with that little raggedy end, isn't it? Let's try that again. It's all the way through. And then tie off a bow or a knot, and I'm going to grab a couple of our metallic clips just so I can hold this a little bit tighter, just while I'm tying the bow. That's better. I need fingers and thumbs now. I haven't used this organza ribbon very much, and I've forgotten just how pretty it was. I bought it very early on when I first started with Stampin' Up and used it all of the time, and then when my eyes got swayed to all the pretty colours, I stopped using it and I forgot just how lovely this is, how delicate. It's a wide ribbon but very soft and very gentle. That's not too bad a bow, it's not marvellous, but we can't expect any more than okay from me really. So that's there. Let's take those off because I don't need those because it's all now staying closed. A couple of dimensionals on the back of here. Fennel says hello very loudly outside the door. And down at the front. And that is my lovely Eastern Elegance paper bag. But it's a wide bag and I love it. I think it's lovely. And it's an unusual size. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Do get in touch if you want to get hold of anything. The Eastern Elegance paper is going to be leaving our catalogue at the end of June. So don't delay getting it, because as soon as the retiring list comes out, if it hasn't already because I'm filming ahead of time, it will go quickly. Trust me on that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and I hope to speak to you soon.